BTV. Yeah, like, come on, follow me. Let's see what we got.
Listen closely if you trying to eat. Get passive income, got that money flowing in my sleep. Young and please, got 30,000 on my wrist, 10 on my fist. That 18 around my neck, make I can show respect. You looking at a God exhorting no fear. About 5 in each ear, that's what you wanna hear. VA.
Remember what I told you, right?
Yeah,
What I say?
it's grown man business.
It's grown man business. Boom!
I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be at all times, my G's, at all times. And I want to give a big salute and a big shout out to OG Percy. Yeah, OG Percy. Now, he dropped some game earlier that got my wheels turning. And I got to say this, you know, back in the day, as youngsters, we were taught and we were indoctrinated to shun the alcoholics, to shun, you know, the dope heads and the guys with the addictions. You know, we laughed at them. We looked down upon them. You understand me? And for some ways and some reasons, it was necessary because it kept us off those drugs. It kept us as youngsters knowing in our head, in the back of our head, that we can't do that, man. Nah, we can't get strung out on nothing because the OGs don't accept that, and we won't be able to re-enter the block or re-enter the neighborhood with any dignity or integrity if we got on those drugs. So, you know, in some ways it definitely worked out for us, but in other ways we lost a lot, because one thing that I learned in due time and in hindsight is that those OGs knew a lot. They had a lot of information. You know, the state they were in presently didn't stop the fact that they were very knowledgeable about the world. So even back in the day, sometimes I would listen to the alcoholic, you know, the drunk guy on the corner. I would listen to, you know, the homeless guy. And they would have so much wisdom and knowledge. Yeah, they might have been high. They might have been addicted at some time. They might have been lost in this world. But they had a lot of knowledge. And I had just got refreshed on that when I heard OG talking. You know, he was on Real Tune, salute the Real Tune. And he was talking about Jay Prince and the whole situation with Takeoff. You understand me? And not only that, you know, he was talking about some spiritual things as well. And I'm going to get into that. We're going to get into this clip. We're going to double back and we're going to get deeper into this angle. We're going to get into this clip. We're going to double back and we're going to get deeper into this angle. Gang.
The older we get, the less, you know, the lesser they listen, Mr. Prince. And I know that we think that our voice carries so much weight that a nigga gonna always listen. Well, I wish my mama could say that. You know, I wish some of these older parents could say that and think that, but they know and we know that they know. When you get old, you know, start treating you a certain way. Had Mr. Prince been on his J Prince throwback, I thought about no shit.
Nah, for real.
Hello! Shit, but the more older Jay the guy, he more humble he done got. And now these young starting to play reckless, you know, the shit he don't even fucking condone, you know.
And I just want to tell y'all boys in Houston, I just want to let y'all boys know in Houston, nigga. Them Atlanta boys down there, they down there peeking around. I don't know what they doing. I just know them Atlanta boys that like to put them handcuffs on them rapping, them entertainment niggas. They do it with no problem. Don't lose no sleep over it. Go home and kiss their wives and their kids at nighttime. Don't give a damn nigga being in jail away from their family. Them is in Houston. And you know, anytime them niggas in Houston, goddamn, anytime them niggas can leave out of Atlanta.
Yo, shout the season, man. Shout the season, man.
This is the real footage, but this is the tampered footage.
Andre, congratulations. How do you turn this around?
Man, first off, I need to first thank my Lord and Savior. This man was
The issue with sin. It makes us, our sin that's in us makes us do those things. And the only salvation for this sin is the gospel. The only way to really cure that what's on the inside is understanding that Jesus Christ died for our sins. And so to me, on a micro level, it's understanding.
Yep, and just like that, we lost him. I know.
Masters champion, Bubba Watson.
And then second, I got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This day means so much more than putting on this green jacket in many ways.
All right, so a technical glitch there.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, my G's. I mean, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. When you scratching the surface, and here at Grown Man Business TV, we definitely scratching the surface. Now, you got an earful, I'm sure, right? You got an eye full as well, I'm sure. You understand me? Now, let's get into what OG Percy said, and then we'll get into the spiritual realm of this thing afterwards. Now, like I said before, you know, back in the day, we were indoctrinated. We were taught not to listen to the alcoholics, not to listen to the OGs that might have addictions, not to listen to the OGs that were not successful. You understand me? Now, mind you, they have a gang of knowledge, a gang of wisdom. But if you ain't driving a Benz, if you ain't in the NBA, if you ain't got $1 million, we don't literally want to hear. We don't want to hear what you have to say. And that was a big mistake. Now, like I said before, we're going to get into this, but that helped a lot of us stay away from drugs. You know, like me, I never touched anything but cannabis because I knew back in the day, first and foremost, that was not accepted by the OGs. That was not accepted in the neighborhood and amongst my friends. We just would never turn out like these youngins because the last thing we wanted to do was be looked at as an addict or be addicted. Yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But when you listen to OG Percy, he says something that rang in my head and it got my wheels turning, and I'm going to put into my mental Rolodex. So that's why I got to say salute to OGP. And he said, the older you get, the less the youngsters listen. Ooh, that was powerful. Instant downloads when I heard that. The older you get, the less the youngsters listen. And it had me thinking about Jay Prince and his age and how these catastrophic events are happening under his watch. Now, when Jay Prince was the young Jay Prince, none of this would have been happening. I mean, he had a foothold on Houston from what we all know. You know, that's how he built his name. That's how he built his legacy with people knowing you don't play with the Jay Prince family. You don't make no moves unless it's sanctioned by the big man, by Jay Prince Sr. You wouldn't dare make a move with the young Jay Prince running around. But the older we get, the more sensitive we become, the more lenient we become. And this is what you got to understand. The more sensitive and the more lenient, the more laid back, the more success, the youngsters and the jackals and the wolves, they start surrounding you. They start looking at you. They start sniffing you out. They start saying, yo, I think Jay Prince is getting weak. I think the Prince family is getting weak. And then you start having these situations like Duke the Jeweler. You know, unsanctioned hits that have not been dealt with. You know, now Takeoff. Oh, big loss. The body that broke the camel's back, if you ask me. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But everybody's trying to figure out, you know, how is this happening? And if you ask me, you know, I'll say that the Dollar Tree Cotton Boys are working with the feds. That's just my personal opinion, right? But when I heard OG Percy say what he said, it kind of resonated with me. You know, maybe the wolves and the jackals are circling the Prince family. You got to know that the youngsters, they full of energy. They full of testosterone, and they ain't trying to lay up on an island nowhere. They ain't trying to lay up on $1 trillion right now. They rather take off chain and send Takeoff out of here like a rocket. They get more thrill out of that. When you a youngster, you get more thrill out of the hunt. You understand me? They want to hunt. They are young warriors, and I'm starting to see something with the Prince family. I'm starting to see something with the Dollar Tree Cotton Boys. They're becoming weak. They have become weak. The leader is an old man now. These responses to these bodies that's falling up under his leadership. Listen to the response and how he's talking.
If you guys, whoever took it upon themselves to run in the house and take my nephew's life, you will pay.
Like nobody believes you, Jay Prince Sr. You need more people. Now, back in the day, when Jay Prince had his feet to the ground, when he was still a youngster, when he was still in those streets and he was making moves and he was pulling strings, nobody would have let that happen. No youngster would have. Listen, that youngster's mama would have told him, don't you play with Jay Prince. Oh, you running around with the mob ties, the mob lies. Don't you play with Jay Prince. We heard stories about people that play with him. Oh, they come up missing. Lil Cam, you better not. And the youngsters would have been in place. Even if Jay Prince Sr. was not around, the youngsters on his name and up under his reign would have been in place. You're getting old, my G. And that's what's, and then, like I said, when you get these downloads and you get this information, you know, it gets deeper. It's so much deeper than rap. It gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap when you scratching the surface. So I started to look at it myself. I started to apply that same method to me. You know, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not a youngster. But all my youngsters that fall up under me, they fall up under my voice and they stand in line. They wouldn't make a play. My nephews, my son, anything. They wouldn't make a play like that, thinking about what Big Unc gonna do when he find out about it, right? But the older I get, the more sensitive I become to, you know, these videos of these rappers getting taken off this earth right in front of us. You know, when I was a youngster, we had something called Faces of Death. We didn't have the internet. So these Faces of Death videos would be circulating, and me and my friends would watch, and people get hit by trains. It would be all these catastrophic events happening to people that we could see all wrapped up in one VH1 tape. If you know, you know. And back in the days, I could watch them tapes and I could go to sleep at night and I wouldn't have a thought about it. And the older I get, the more sensitive I come to these things. The more and more these things just affect me to where I can't even watch it anymore. I can't watch get taken off this work. It was hard to watch P&B Rock swimming. Oh, he was swimming. And then it took me to another level where it said, what is that? The older you get, the closer to God you become. The older you get on this earth, the closer to God you become and the more godly you become. And that right there starts to separate you from all the evils down here. All the evils that we are exposed to. You become way more sensitive. You become just the wisdom, the hindsight of life. When you make it to 40, youngster, you start to see things differently. And now you got all the youngins under you trying to be you because they remember the old G&B TV. They remember the young G&B TV and how he used to give it up. They remember the young G&B TV, how he would jump on them lives and get on your neck. And they want to be that. They want to resemble that. They remember the old Jay Prince Sr., how he used to pull up in them cars, hop out, give the hood and feed the hood and make sure everybody has something in their pockets. They remember the old Jay Prince Sr. who, if something like this happens, your whole family will go missing. You not that no more. You a shell of yourself, OG. And these youngsters, they want to be the old you. You got to understand something. The youngsters, they don't inspire to be who you are now. They don't want to own islands. They can't see that far ahead. Jay Prince, this is real game I'm giving you because kings can enlighten kings. It don't matter if this king is in shambles right now. It don't matter if this king is addicted to something right now. The knowledge, the wisdom, the downloads will remain the same. And he trying to tell you, but he drunk and you smell the alcohol reeking off him and you shun him, man. Get out my face, OG. You drunk. He got the game, though. So I might not own islands, but I own some things. And Jay Prince Sr., I could give you some game on how they look at this. You not looking at this the right way. We don't want to hear your responses over IG. Your actions speak louder than anything you could ever type. The youngsters are circling y'all. Oh, we gonna get into this in 1 second, but let me take it a step higher. I always had people asking me, when we get into great debates, they say, Big G and BTV, the Oracle, and don't you forget the TV, and you better always remember the Oracle. They say, man, how did Africa fall? And how did these great Egyptians fall? And how did these great pharaohs fall if they were so great, if they were so powerful? How did they fall? And I'm going to tell you, because in due time, you become weak. Oh, you reach your pinnacle as a civilization, just like America has reached its pinnacle as a civilization. And then you start to become weak and all the surrounding civilizations start to circle you. They start to watching you and they start to saying, oh yeah, them pharaohs getting weak. They arguing, they throwing food in the street. I mean, they got so much that they ain't even paying attention. And we want that. And we gonna come for that. America's the same way. We got all these homeless people, but got other people that have so much food that we just throwing food in the streets. And you got all these other countries looking. Oh, Russia, everybody, they saying, oh, America looking weak right now. We might be able to take that. That's how the pharaohs fell. And when you take it to another level, because this is going to segue me into God. The pharaohs didn't have God. They had their own God. And God has to reign. And if you don't want to bow down and submit to God, then your civilization has to fall. You understand me? So that's going to lead me to Jay Prince and then segue me that way. But just follow me. The surrounding countries in Texas, the surrounding gangs, the youngsters that want a name for themselves, they circling the Dollar Tree Cotton Boys right now. They circling the Jay Prince family right now like jackals and hyenas, and they laughing. And they biting at their tail, and they saying these boys is weak. They ain't reigning over Texas like they used to. It's time for a new mob. It's time for a new establishment. And if we gotta get them out of here by whacking some celebrities, if we gotta put the feds on them, if we gotta, whatever we gotta do, y'all might want to open y'all eyes, Dollar Tree Cotton Boys. It's looking like it's over for y'all. The reign has come to an end. Now, again, the downloads were so intense. I had to bring it to my investors. Salute to all the new investors and everybody that's flooding in. We only going up. It's constant elevation now. That leads me into to God, the title. Again, I got a lot of people in my DMs. I got a lot of people in the comments. They saying big G and B, hey, Jesus. And, when you say Jesus, it wasn't Jesus. It was Yahshua. And listen, man, back in those days, the letter J wasn't even alive. And, they couldn't use the yellow. All this stuff that y'all read in these books that y'all been indoctrinated with. I don't do that. I get it straight I get the downloads direct to consumer. Me and him have a relationship. I talk to him every day. Multiple times a day. How about you? You reading a book, right? Okay, slow down. When I was coming up, I was the same way. The evils of this world was pulling me this way and pulling me that way. And I would have deep, heated talks with my mom about the word Jesus, the title. Jesus Christ. And, I would tell my mama the same thing, y'all. Hey, the letter J wasn't around. And mama, how is this? And mama, how is that? And what I realized is that's the trick from these evils to get you not to say Jesus. Oh, the tricks are powerful. It's a whole bunch of trickery going down here. And the narratives have been painted that it's Buddha and it's not Jesus. And then it's this and it's Yahshua. But let me tell you something. And let me lead you on why I'm going to continue to say Jesus. Because when you say Yahshua, if you look at those clips, it's only one word. If you look at those clips, it's only one word that makes those people, makes the higher ups and elites, makes the evils of this world get flustered. Oh, they get red in the face. They start doing this. Oh, you can, when you say that word, Jesus, they start to glitching, and you can actually see the evils in them. The whole time they had to dressed up with the dog fur laid down nice and neat. She's sitting there with a dog fur and she just talking. And as soon as he said Jesus, she hit a button. We got to get him out of here. Yeah, it was a glitch in the system. We had to get him out of here. So when you say Yahshua, when you say Buddha, when you say Farrakhan, when you say all of these different so-called titles and gods, they don't bat an eye at you. They let you keep talking. They wouldn't care less. But when you say Jesus, for some reason, it evokes the evils in them and they get jumpy. You understand? That word Jesus is a kryptonite to the evils out here. You haven't noticed that? That's why I put that clip up there for you. I don't want to have to tell you. One thing beautiful about this technology is we can get into these clips, then we can double back and get deeper into these angles. So you got an earful and an eye full of that clip, because now we pass OG Percy. We talking about the evils of this world and why that word Jesus, the title for some reason, because God is God. God is all seeing. God is the divine order, man, woman, and child. That is God. But you have to put a title on it. God is the title. That is just the title. Jesus is just a title for the unbegotten Son. Thank you for the downloads, because the sun in the sky is the all begotten Son that gives life to all of us, that gives life to everything on this earth except for those people. That unbegotten Son actually destroys them people. They get all kind of cancers. Look at their skin. I mean, and you've seen the clips. It is what it is. It is what it is. So Jesus is just the title. And when you say Jesus, they think that you know something about that all begotten Son, even if you don't. And then, get him out of here. Even Superman had a kryptonite. So you got to know the higher ups and the elites got a kryptonite. So I'm not using Yahshua. You can save your breath when it come to telling me about Yahshua, and when you come to telling me about Buddha and all these other titles. I'm sticking with this title, and you can stick with your title for whatever you want. But you need to notice, when you say Yahshua, they don't look at you and know. They don't bat an eye. They're not scared of him. When you say Buddha, they not scared of him. Say Jesus. Thank you for the downloads. They become so intense. I got to keep that Skrilla right next to me, even in my own house, because the energies, they know this home is protected. My mom pray over us. My mama teaching my wife to pray over us. You better understand it. You better get in position. Last but not least, they always say all these stories about, but I don't know about all of that. All I do know is that when you leave this earth, when you take off, do you want to be saying, Joshua, if that was never, do you not want to be awakened to the tricks of this world? Oh, they tricked you. Anything to get you not to say Jesus, anything. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. I want to give a big salute and a big shout out to OG Percy. I feel you, homie. I feel you. I trust me, I'm tapped into you. And regardless of what you're going through as a man, I see the king in you, OG. Regardless of what you're going through as a man, as a human being, I see the king in you, God. I see the spirit in you. I feel it. Salute to you, OG. Keep dropping that game. Keep spilling game on the ground for the hungry hounds, because that other guy ain't doing that. He talking about materialistic things, and I could trump everything he bring to the table. So now I could see past him, and I see you, OG. OG, stay strong. Stay protected. Real tunes. Make sure you lock in. Make sure you stay on code with OGP, OG Percy. And last but not least, again, I'm going to stick with the word in the title, Jesus, because that seems to evoke the evils in these higher-ups and the elites. And I want the kryptonite on my side. I got kryptonite in my hand when it come to them. That's why they don't trust me. It's a whole nother realm over here on this channel. It's a whole nother playground. We don't play, and they don't play with us the way they play with them. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Gang. GMB TV. Yeah, come on, follow me. Let's see what we got.
Listen closely if you trying to eat. Get passive income, got that money flowing in my sleep. Young and please, got 30,000 on my wrist, 10 on my fist. That 18 around my neck, make I can show respect. You looking at a God exhorting no fear. About 5 in each ear, that's what you wanna hear. VA.
Remember what I told you, right?
Yeah,
What I say?
it's grown man business.
It's grown man business.